Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Spice and Wolf episode 11. We are nearing the halfway point here, aren't we? Which tells me that maybe not today's episode, but next week we're probably gonna see a conclusion of the Vatican arc. Certainly wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. But right now, yeah, we are still in this arc. I should really be thinking of another seasonal stream, shouldn't I? Yeah. We have like what, two more weeks left of this season, right? Everything I've been watching, Kaijuu number 8, Sentai Daishikkaku, all of that stuff has had like episodes 10 recently, so yeah. How the time flies, right? How the time flies. I had birthday not long ago, so I know something about that. But yeah, regardless. In a previous episode, Holo kinda lifted Kraft from his little bit of depression a little bit. They had some nice heart to heart, right? They discussed what they were, disappointed with, what the situation did to them, what they feel about it, how can they, go forward with it. Kraft's, I should just call him Lawrence. Everybody's calling him Lawrence, and I just kind of stuck on using his first name. I don't know, whatever, doesn't matter probably all that much, does it? But yeah, he had the idea that whatever money he managed to beg out of people, he will just give to Holo so that she can at least complete her journey. Which really makes him a very nice guy, doesn't it? And Holo said as much, that he's a little bit too nice for his own good, right? You guys told me in the comments, pointed out rather, that if he actually, had stood his ground and was firm in Holo not accompanying him, even if it hurt her feelings, even if it made her like temporarily angry briefly, he could buy her a couple of apples or an apple pie or something and she would have been placated, so not a long-term issue, but he would have an easier time collecting money, right? But he didn't want to do that. He was too nice for that, and he just agreed with Holo going with him. So yeah, he got a nice talking to from her, where she told him as much, right? You should be more, strict. You should not be quite as much of a nice guy, not at all times, when you can be, when you should be, sure. But it's not befitting of a merchant to be like that all the time. You need to be shrewd. You need to lie. You need to be aggressive at times even, right? And it seems like he got that to heart, because he later on convinced Nora of some actions quite unbecoming of a lady, so to speak. Right after they aired out their grievances, they reconciled, which was to be predicted, of course, predictable that they would reconcile sooner or later. I was hoping for sooner, and I got sooner, so hey, double thumbs up for that. They went to the Remelio dude to make him an offer he cannot possibly refuse. Basically, Kraft doesn't have money. He won't be able to pay off the debt. So Remelio Trading Company is not gonna get that much from him, and it's not gonna be fast, right? They're not gonna get the rest of that money quickly, because it's gonna have to go through all the paperwork with Kraft's association, yada yada yada, right? It's gonna take time, and it's also gonna be, what's it gonna be? A single debt. That's not going to uplift the Remelio Trading Company out of whatever deep hole they've gotten themselves into. So, the proposition is that Kraft and Holo smuggle some gold in, because gold is, priceless in this country, in this city, because the church controls it all, and you can just, carry it around willy-nilly, so smuggling it is not an easy task. And in exchange, Remelio gives them some funds so that they can purchase gold in another city that starts with L.A., I believe. Not Lafayette. Not Lafayette, no. Lafayette is the surname of the protagonist of Moon Girl, right? Why did it pop into my head? I've seen like 2 fucking episodes of Moon Girl, and I remembered her surname. But yeah, they're going somewhere else to buy gold, and they're gonna bring it here. Of course, if they were to do that alone, that wouldn't be easy, because, you know, nobody knows them in the city. There are a couple of merchants. Holo is additionally suspicious, so they would be very quickly discovered. However, there is a person who can come and go pretty much freely, who can traverse the forests easily, not being afraid of any wolves, who has the ability to put some gold somewhere and move it around, and that is, of course, Nora. Quiet, grey mouse Nora, who nobody pays much mind to, who just goes with her sheep and comes with her sheep, and it's how it's been all this time. Nobody checks her, nobody, you know, stops her at the city border, none of that. She just goes as she pleases. And she has sheep. Sheep that can be stuffed with gold. Apparently the plan isn't to like tie the gold bars underneath the sheep's bellies, as I initially assumed from the wording. Apparently the sheep are gonna be fed with gold, and I'm assuming they're going to excrete that once inside of city walls, and Nora is going to be picking up gold bars from that, maybe. I don't think they plan on killing those sheep and, like, you know, evicting the gold that way. Holo probably wouldn't mind, right? She could just swallow the sheep whole, chew a little bit, spit out the gold bars, right? It would work as well. But yeah, they're gonna retrieve that somehow. Kraft is very much a sweet talker in this whole entire talk, as they're trying to convince Nora, right? First posing as a devout believer, but also in that very sort of kind of ironic way to feel it out. Oh, is Nora actually such a devout believer as well? Should I continue this play, or should I switch gears? And switch gears he did, where he outright decried the church, right? Called them a bunch of pigs and shit like that, to give Nora a direct confirmation that no, he's very much against the church. He's not an agent of the church trying to get some hooks for her, right? Trying to get her to admit to, I don't know, worshipping the devil or whatever the church suspects her of. And he made it a really nice deal for Nora. She gets plenty of gold, plenty of coin, enough to sign up for the seamstress guild. It was called something else, but basically she's going to get her training in being a seamstress, and she's gonna have enough money left for some food, for some lodging. She's not gonna be hurting for that. She might even be able to buy herself like a master's certificate, who knows. So a very good deal for her, and also they're running the city as soon as that whole deal is done, so she will be free of the church as well. A very good deal for her, as long, of course, as the whole entire shenanigan actually works out, and they actually manage to smuggle that gold, and nobody actually stops them, nobody checks on them, nothing goes awry. If everything goes smoothly, if everything goes well, good shit. Everybody gets their gold, Remelio Trading Company is saved, Kraft is saved, has a little bit of money on top to restart his merchanting, and Nora also gets a nice lump sum to start her training. Everybody wins. If they manage. Because if they don't, everybody loses. Quite literally. quite literally everybody loses. Nora and Holo would probably both be burnt at stake as witches and demons. Kraft would at least lose his arm, and then he would also go do heavy labor for, for his debt. Assuming Remilio Trading Company would still exist and not be just liquidated by the church because they were the ones who maybe, funded that whole endeavor. So it's a high risk, but an incredibly high reward scenario. Hopefully they will manage. I mean, they gotta, right? There wouldn't be more of this show if they were just stopped here, executed, and roll the credits. Very short series, 11 episodes long. No, we have 25 whole episodes of it, so they will surely succeed. And yeah, let's see that. Right, let's see that happen. In today's episode, I'm assuming Kraft and Holo will get their funds. We might get even that journey to that other city. I'm assuming the actual smuggling and the journey back will take place in episode 12 and the actual resolution, right? The episodes are paced in a way where I wouldn't expect the road there and back to happen in just this single episode. We'll see, of course. They might very well just time skip or do any number of things and completely invalidate my beliefs. So, how about we just watch and see what happens, right? Shall we? To do that, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 11 of Spice and Wolf in 3, 2, 1, go. Everything works, good. Who might you be? Oh, you're from the opening. You're the Mr. Something that Hans Remelio called for. Okay, Liebert. Okay, so Hans actually wasn't trying to get Kraft into trouble, it seems. He just sent a sort of insurance with him instead. Right? Like, who's to say that Kraft is not just gonna take the money for gold and run the city? It makes sense to give him someone, right? Should Kraft try to do some shady stuff with the money, Hans will report back. Should Hans die and not report back, well, that's also a dead giveaway, pun not intended, that something happened with their money. Smart, actually smart. And smart in a way where I wouldn't have noticed if it wasn't the case. Right? Like, if Hans sent them alone on their merry way without giving them any of his men, I wouldn't really bat an eye. But now that he gave them someone to, to go with them, to track them, to safeguard the money, yeah, it actually makes sense in hindsight. This is probably my favorite kind of making sense, right? Of something being smart, where I wouldn't have minded, I wouldn't have noticed if the creators just didn't bother with it, but they did. They went that, one step further than I expected them to. That's always fun. Forest of Wolves and Frigid Rain. Yeah, but she has to sleep to guard the flock at night. Yeah. I mean, we say we stop. You're just an extra. My cat has a hairball again. Yeah, also the sheep are kind of crucial in the whole thing, right? You wouldn't want them eaten by wolves. Also that, yeah. You would probably want to go through the forest in one go. Also, that's one hell of a forest. Yeah. Oh, Holo. Yeah. I mean, if Nora doesn't chase them away, Holo will. Duh. Right, she doesn't much care about anybody else here. Right. She can smell them. Oh, Anek noticed something? Or no, just tightening the flock. Okay. Probably. Okay, so that was the side eye. Probably not, no. Yeah. Oh, is that an official permission to care about her? Oh, night in the forest. Lamtra. Okay, Lamtra. Yeah, just don't go anywhere far, you know? Stay by the fire. Oh. Oh, so that's what Holo did. She got a little bit jealous of Anek. Did she? She probably did, but she also noticed the wolves. Okay. The wolves are coming. Yeah, she probably doesn't like the horn. I have sun shining from the window and not even the blinds block it off also. Can I have trouble noticing what's looming in the dark, but I don't think there's anything yet. Chased off successfully? Probably. Some special breed. Oh? I thought more along the lines of, I know, some other master of the wolves or something. Like, what, are zombies gonna attack us? Okay, safety. Oh, they're waiting outside of the city walls? I guess so. Yeah, sure. Also, is it the first time that Holo spoke to her? That. Oh? Something not meant for our own ears? Men are wolves after all, right? uh, yeah, you're such a rabbit, Holo. Yeah. Yeah, that's more your relationship. He is more of a rabbit here. Oh no, the furthest thing from it. Yeah, for the opposite reason. Yeah. I mean, sure, that is an explanation. Yeah. You're either be rich or dead, so. Right? One way or another, not a shepherd. Uh. Oh, it took you a whole day? You're slow with negotiations. I was expecting gold bars, but instead we get like gold nuggets. Makes sense, yeah. And how's that going to be significant? Can we expect mudslides, or more like we're not going to be able to hear and smell wolves in the rain? The latter. No, that's a whole pack above them. And besides them, not particularly aggressive though. Instantly running away from a shepherd's dog. Or is it essentially just feeling out the situation? Yeah. They're not just going to attack alone, of course. They will wait until there's an opportunity for the entire pack to attack. Yeah, you should have waited out this rain, really. Then again, how could you have known, right? Like, without the explanation of Holo being a deity. Or a demigod, or again, whatever you want to call her. Easy! Hopefully nobody gains any, suspicions of her. That's a big one, I hear. That's a big one. Oh, that's a big one. Is it another Wolven deity? Holo's long-lost cousin or something? Or is it just a big wolf? But humans? Or you specifically? Or is Nora the target since she's a shepherd? Okay, how do you explain leaving Holo behind, though? Yeah, I mean, that's a plan. That's their plan. Hopefully it comes to pass. I mean, let's be honest, I really can't see Holo having issues here, so... Right, she doesn't like to be seen in her wolven form. Is he not? Excuse me? Is he not a handsome male? Grain? No, cloak. Leave your clothes with Craft, then? He's gonna have to buy you a new wardrobe again. Wasteful. Okay, now I wonder, are we going to see a fight scene between them? Or is it just going to be a, time skip and something that happens off screen to, give us a feeling of tension, right? We're waiting for Holo to appear, we're waiting for her. She's not here yet! What happened to her, right? And then finally, eventually, she shows up and it's like, yeah! She won! Right? It's gonna be like that. I'm willing to bet. Go, Nora, don't worry. What the fuck are you doing? Tell me you're not actually going after Holo. Tell me you will actually listen to her and wait this one out. Okay, we still have some time. Glowing eyes. Fire. Oh, he's trying the cloak? Okay, sure. Stay in a forest full of wolves. You know, without either of the two people who can protect you, and just light a fire and do that. Sure. Who the fuck are those people? Oh, he spilled the beans. So now Holo is in danger. Should they notice Holo duking it out with the other wolf, they're not gonna discriminate and they're gonna attack both. Or we're just going to camp. Oh, of course. Sure. Oh, of course. Yeah, why though? Oh, right. So that nobody can... no witnesses, essentially. Oh, you're trying to go after Holo for some reason? Oh, they want to kill both Lawrence and Holo. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Probably Nora as well, and the blonde guy. Right, right. We're not gonna kill, right? My hands are clean. No killing done. Oh, so they're talking about Nora, not Holo. Yeah, they are talking of Nora. Okay, so the next episode is going to be a wild run to the city to save Nora, I assume. After Holo is done rescuing Lawrence, of course. I'm expecting Holo jumping out at any moment and just fucking devouring them. Credits. Indeed. Uh, Again, something happened that makes sense and is actually smart on Remerio's part, but I wouldn't have noticed or minded if it didn't happen. I wouldn't even think of it, honestly. But they did. Whoever created the story did think of it. Yeah. Holo's gonna have to save Lawrence quick if they are hoping to save Nora. Because if I'm not mistaken, they also took his horse. Oh, is Kraft gonna have to ride Holo in her wolven form? That would actually be kind of nice. Not gonna lie, she would probably rather grab him by by the collar and carry him in her teeth, rather than allowing him to ride her. But still, price of betrayal and price of gold. Okay, so Remilio Trading Company is dead, and they sell their gold well, and they get money. Cool, good ending. Probably that's that's what I can glean from this title. But right now we're gonna watch this episode again. That's what I can glean from the episode having ended. Whatever. Very cool city. I really enjoy the cities in this show as well. I think I talked about it a couple of times at least, right? They're not the classic like isekai circle with a river going through, but every city rather has a very organic, natural, like an actual medieval city look to it. Good. Yeah, insurance. If it doesn't, we will only have dark days ahead. Right, Remelio Trading Company is probably finished if this deal doesn't go through. Still makes me question, how did they have enough money to purchase that gold, though? Unless it's not actually gold, unless it's like a counterfeit gold or something, and they're trying to, like, plan in layers and layers here. We tell Kraft that he's going to be smuggling real gold, but we're actually going to purchase bootleg gold. It's just going to be what's the fool's gold, essentially, right? We're going to purchase that and trying to sell that as real gold and hope that we can scam someone else, right? And it's essentially just layers and layers of crime and scam. But maybe not. I don't know. Again, very smart on their part to actually send their man with them. Someone to actually carry the gold and do the negotiations. Because if they didn't, then what's stopping Lawrence from pocketing the money and running? What's stopping him from pocketing part of the money, buying some gold for the rest, and saying, oh, the gold was so expensive, this is as much as I managed to buy, right? What's stopping him if there's nobody to keep tabs on him? Makes perfect sense that they would send someone of their own allegiance. Hungry wolves will be waiting for you indeed. And yeah, the whole thing banks on the ship, banks on Nora, so their comfort, their safety are absolutely crucial, but starting with P. There's a word for that, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just tripping. Yeah, they are crucial in this whole endeavor, so of course their comfort comes first. Interesting forest. Those like stone spires and the little like mountains and columns and shit, taller than the trees themselves. Feels like anything could show up in there. Haha. Yeah, little did you know. We are already surrounded. I will guarantee your safety. Yeah, but, anybody else, it's like fair game. It's probably not easy for Holo to focus on protecting multiple people either. One person, she can, worst case scenario, she can grab Kraft in her teeth and just run away. She's not gonna be able to grab multiple people though. So his safety is guaranteed. Anybody else, depends, I guess. And also her turning into a wolf, we probably wouldn't want to leave any witnesses of that either. Right? Like, we could maybe convince Nora to stay quiet about it, but Liebert, or whatever the fuck his name is, the blonde guy, yeah, he would probably spill the beans first time he has the chance, so No other solution that I see. They will have noticed the ship and are sharpening their fangs. Yeah, but they're not attacking just indiscriminately. Ennek's smart enough. I really was afraid all this time that Ennek is actually going to die, going to sacrifice himself, or something like that is going to happen. But no, thankfully Ennek remains alive. That's very good. Just protect her so such a thing does not happen. Right, that gives another reason for Lawrence to cry on the forest floor. He was explicitly told by Holo to protect her, and he kind of failed. And even earlier, he had those thoughts of, "Man, I'm so useless," and it was proven to be true to a degree. He couldn't even protect the one he was supposed to protect. Something tells me it's going to be another moment of growth for him, though. Something tells me he will figure out how he can be useful, how he can actually help Nora with his own devices, right? Maybe with his own connections, maybe with his scanning, right? He's gonna figure something out. We'll reach Lamtra by afternoon if we depart at dawn. Holo being jealous of Ennek. Yeah, didn't manage to get her head pats though because of the wolves, so that means she's doubly angry with the young big wolf, right? Prevented her from getting the pats. They have distanced themselves. The wolves here are always like this. They don't howl, they don't show signs of attacking, they wait, they lie in wait, and only attack when they're certain. They are coordinated by something smart, intelligent, who directs them and controls them, right? I always notice parallels between multiple shows I'm watching, or rather, I always notice when a parallel of sorts is happening between two shows that I'm watching. And just in the last episode of Kaijuu number 8, we also had a situation of small fry that usually doesn't fight coordinated, but there is a big dude who coordinates them because it's smart, and that's a problem to the entire defense force, right? Similarly here, usually wolves are, they make themselves known, they howl, they attack indiscriminately, they are not quite as coordinated, but now we have a coordinator. Yeah, ain't gonna be easy. There may be something other than wolves here. Right. Now it's my turn. They just let him go. Just like that, huh? I would have hoped for Lawrence to join him. To again watch him that he isn't, I don't know, tipping off the guard or the local church, or trying to purchase some bootleg gold or stuff like that, right? I would have hoped that he would go with him, but perhaps the news spreads fast, and Kraft is already known in Lamtra as well as, the debtor, the burned out merchant who you should not do business with, and his presence would just be a detriment to the to the negotiations. Then again, Remilio Trading Company, if that's the case, then Remilio should also be known as the fallen trading company. So people should not want to do business with anybody of that company either. I know, maybe it's just, completely insignificant. Are you knowledgeable about wolves? If only you knew, girl. If only you knew. I wonder if Nora is actually going to learn of Holo's nature. Something tells me that she might, right? There are those, allusions, kinda, to Nora knowing that something's up with Holo, but not knowing what exactly, right? And Holo also telling her in very veiled terms, oh, I know about wolves, at night there's a wolf and a rabbit and who's who, gee, I wonder, right? Stuff like that. She's also kind of sort of leading her on. So I wonder. Does he look dependable to you? Probably not. I'm traveling alone with a man, right? It's strange to even ask whether or not I'm knowledgeable of wolves. A wolf appears every night, and it's not Lawrence. Yeah, he is more like the rabbit, indeed. Anik is very attentive, of course, that's because he's smitten, not because he smells a wolf. The negotiations took a long time until evening. And yeah, it makes sense to feed the sheep golden nuggets. All this time I had in my mind that gold bars, right? Because early on it was established that the church only like distributes holy gold bars, and they're stamped with the church logo or whatever, right? So I had that like gold bars in my mind. But nuggets actually also make a lot of sense, especially in this situation, rather than trying to chop those nuggets into pieces and feeding them to sheep, or strapping them underneath them, or any number of things. It's gonna be easier with just nuggets. Suitable time to feed them, yeah, probably after exiting the forest, so that they don't, release that gold in the middle of the woods. The rain is coming. They really should have waited that rain through, but I guess they were really strapped for time. Or is it that nobody else noticed that that it's gonna be raining? Only Holo did, and she couldn't tell them because they would start wondering, oh, how does she know? And the dude probably wouldn't believe her either because he's more strapped for time, right? So there was no point telling anybody that, yeah, there's rain coming, let's wait it out. Maybe. Then again, she could very easily pass it off as, oh, it's just a hunch that I always had ever since I was a child, or it's a childhood injury always letting itself known, or, any number of things that she could have explained it with. And if the dude from Remilio would not decide to let go and wait out the storm, the rain, then Nora probably would. She would absolutely say, no, okay, fuck it, let's stay here, wait the rain out, maybe in the city, maybe in Lamtra, maybe out here. Anything is better than entering a wolf-ridden forest during rain. Because not only is the visibility low, you also can't smell them out. That's important for Holo. You also can't hear them that well because of all the raindrops, right? It's it's a very bad time to be in a wolf-infested forest during rain. Yeah, we're already surrounded, indeed. Caution and cunning. Caution and cunning. They're not just going to attack indiscriminately without thinking. They're not going to attack when Anik is around, right? They might send out some feelers, figure out, oh, okay, there's a dog. The dog is aggressive, the dog might be a problem. Going back to the pack, telling everybody the dog is a problem. Let's focus on other members of the party maybe, right? Stuff like that, essentially. They're smart about what they're doing. Yeah, Hola also has her ways of dealing with the wolves, of course. Even humans say young ones these days. You should have that girl and boy go on ahead. After that, you should separate from me as well. Yeah, makes sense. Holo can chase the biggin easily. No normal wolf. Their target is not the sheep. Who is their target though? My bet is either Nora, because a shepherd, and because shepherds are, loathed by wolves, right? Holo doesn't like shepherds. the big wolf here in the forest probably doesn't like shepherds either. Maybe Nora prevented them from grabbing some sheep before and he wants revenge or something like that. Could be that. Or could be sort of like territorial instincts and the desire for more like power. Right? The way where in a pack the young wolf attacks the old wolf to take their place in the like pecking order, and it's observed among multiple animals. Maybe something like that. The young wolf noticed, oh, there's a strong big wolf approaching, entering my territory, right? I have to chase them off, I have to kill them, I have to win, and then I will take their place in the in the order of wolves in the world, or something like that. Maybe the target is actually Holo. That's why the wolves did not go after Nora, did not go after Kraft. They just focused entirely on Holo. Crude pride, yeah, pride of the territory, probably. Cheap stubbornness, right? Too stubborn to let it go. Yeah, probably. You are my partner. Believe in me. Who believes in you? Who believes in me? We will meet in Ruvinhaigen. Right, and off she goes. Cannot let their deaths be in vain. If we stay here, their courageous decision will be for naught. Yeah, probably. Nora is a good girl. She has to survive. Kraft has to save her somehow. Yeah, protects the cloak. Your attitude towards your elders is lacking. I would expect that it's something instinctual for wolves to recognize their superior, right? Like, oh shit, that's a level 100 mafia boss and I'm just a level 10 goon. I have no chance against them. But apparently not. Or it's, the pride that Holo spoke of, that's stalking, right? I can't allow anybody to go through my territory, even if they're stronger than me. I have to challenge them at least. Otherwise, I lose my status among the pack. Something like that, maybe. I am so powerless. Yeah. The fact that he said that really makes me believe that it's going to be addressed. And it's gonna turn out that he's not quite as powerless as he thinks he is. He simply has different kind of power, right? He's not going to wrestle a bear to save the party from a bear, but he has other strengths that he might use, and that he probably will use to save Nora. That's my bet. I thought this might be an unrelated search party. Maybe heard of the big wolf and they got a bounty and it's just a coincidence that they're here. And now it's gonna be a moment of, oh shit, how do I stall them, right? Maybe I actually am not powerless. Maybe I actually have the power to stall them a little, to give Holo the chance to win the fight, change back into a human and run away, or something like that. Because if they were to notice two big wolves, their arrows would not discriminate. They would attack both. We got the bounty for one big wolf. Holy shit, there's two, double the bounty, right? But no. They are a search party bot for Lawrence and Holo and Nora. We should take cover from rain. And yeah, of course, that was kind of unexpected. But also expected. Unexpected but predictable, I guess I would say. Right? Like, I did not expect that. I expected the issue here and the conflict here to be, we came here because we heard of a big wolf and, we are here to bring you back to safety or something like that. And then Holo shows up in her wolven form and, holy shit, that's the wolf, kill it. Or something like that, right? That this is going to be a problem here. But the issue seems to be something completely different. Holo isn't involved whatsoever, but rather it's them who are attacking Lawrence here. It's just for insurance. Yeah, I mean, again, makes sense. What's stopping Kraft from smuggling the gold and then, telling the church, hey, yo, this company used one of your shepherds to smuggle the gold. Can I get some money for this information, right? What's stopping him? In the eyes of Remilio Trading Company, nothing. In the eyes of Kraft, he would not stoop this low. He would not do that. Absolutely not. This really shows us a lot of projection by Remilio, by Hans, and I guess by the rest of the company as well, right? We are willing to screw people over, so of course other people are willing to screw us over as well. This sort of thinking. And it's not always true. Absolutely not. Lawrence would not screw them over. He would get his money and just fuck off and be happy with what he got. He would not be trying to nickel and dime the church for information or anything of the sort. He would not try to exact revenge on Remilio by trying to thank them or anything like that. Right? You're safe. He would not try to double cross you by getting the gold, quiet from Nora and then selling it on his own, completely bypassing Remilio. He would not try to do that. But Remilio would. And so they believe everybody around them would do the same. They believe everybody around has the same exact morality that they do, or lack thereof. So it makes sense from this standpoint, and it also shows us the kind of a person that Hans Remilio is, and the kind of a company that Remilio Company is. If they were moral and legit, they would treat everybody else maybe with a dose of caution, but overall they would believe that others are just as moral as them, right? But they don't. They are the exact opposite. So we know that if there's Remilio that can screw Lawrence in any sort of way, they will. Just like here. They are going to screw Nora as well. They're going to eliminate her, take her out of the equation as well. If they could screw them in any other way still, they would. They abso-fucking-lutely would. The worst people to do business with. It's good to hear she isn't with you. Right, we'll let you keep your companion's memento. And the next, they're not going after Holo. I guess they assume that, oh yeah, Holo just, she got eaten by the wolves, because what can a frail young lady do against a pack of wolves? Fucking nothing. She's already dead. That's what it is. So they're not even gonna bother trying to search for her. Instead, they're running back to execute Nora and take her out of the equation. Why don't we tie up the girl and leave her behind like this too? Then the wolves will take care of her. Yeah, but she's able to escape this force without losing a single step. She's like, she has pagan sorcery. We tie her up and she's going to turn the rope into snakes and attack us. She's going to stick the wolves on us. What, are you crazy? Let's stab her in her sleep. That's the safest way. And even then, I would be praying the whole time I'm holding the knife, right? That's what they believe. Which might actually save Nora. Paradoxically, I feel. They might actually be hesitant to do anything out in the open. They might actually want to wait for her to maybe, for example, fall asleep. Which might give Lawrence enough time to deal with that. Also, the gold is with the sheep. I assume Nora will bring the sheep to the church. They will take a shit in the church's stables, pens. Nora will collect the gold and she will give it in a bag to the contact. And I don't think Remilio people would have an entry into the church, so they have to wait for Nora to do at least that until they get rid of her. That also gives me hope. Unless, of course, they capture the sheep as soon as she enters the city and slaughter the sheep and just rip the gold out. which I wouldn't put past them. But then the church would start questioning what went wrong. Although, if neither the ship nor Nora would be back, the church would just assume, oh, such is God's providence. She died with her ship in the forest. I guess she was not a witch after all. Let's pray in her memory. She was such a good girl. Right? Probably how it would be explained. So depending on what they go for, Nora is either in immediate danger right fucking now, and Kraft needs to literally fucking ride Holo into the city, guns blazing, or we have the time. We'll see which is it. Which it is. Then we'll be the ones who meet a terrible end. You will probably meet a horrible end one way or another if the title of the next episode is to be believed. And if Holo sees Lawrence in this state, she's not gonna let it go. She's absolutely not going to let it go. She has a rule about not killing, right? Because she wants to prove that she's a benevolent god. She doesn't kill people. She's not a dangerous wolf, etc., etc. Something tells me there are certain things that could make her temporarily waive that role. And this is one of them. That's the vibe I'm getting. Although, I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Should we kill him? No, we should kill as little as possible. We're not gonna be killing him. It's gonna be the wolves. My conscience is clear. Whatever helps you sleep at night, dude. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Thank goodness his companion was already dead. Bad assumption. Bad assumption. Fair assumption, but very bad. See, every moment here, like this shot, I don't know why this shot in particular, but this one really made me expect Holo to just jump at his back and start tearing at his throat. I fully expected that to happen. Probably because it's such a like tight and a narrow shot, right? We don't see what's happening on the outside. So there can be any number of things happening. There can be Holo just stalking them from behind, right? Probably that's what made me think that. And also a very unusual composition in that the person is on the side of the screen where they have like a very short line of sight, right? Usually when a person is would be facing left, you would have them here so that they have a lot to see, right? That's usually how it's composed when you show a face in a frame. Considering there's a horse behind, I would place his face maybe like in the middle or somewhere here. That's what I would expect. But no, it's very, very here, which additionally, like subconsciously, I guess, limits our own line of sight, right? He doesn't see a lot. He has a very short line of sight, so we also have a very short line of sight. We really don't know what's going on here. That's the significance of it. And a very tight, very close shot kind of, tightens that view area even further, which again means that anything could be happening outside. And anything could be jumping into frame right now. The space left here, this is a perfect space for like Holo's snout to appear and clamp, or right, something like that. Yeah, this frame, this shot composition really made me expect Holo to just jump in at any given time. But no, not quite yet. There's gonna be a time for Holo Ex Machina, but not quite yet. She's probably going to start by sniffing out Lawrence and rescuing him, and then they both will go save Nora. Hopefully. I just hope that nobody happens to Anek. That's my biggest fear here right now. Because I can fully see a scenario where Anek tries to protect Nora and he dies in the process. I can fully see that happen. I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen. And there we go. That's the episode. Price of betrayal and price of gold. Price of gold probably very high because gold is scarce in the area. Price of betrayal probably very high as well. Probably very high as well. I just wonder what exactly is it going to be. Death at Holo's hands? As much as I would like to see that, probably not. Holo's been avoiding killing as much as possible. Tipping off the guards that, oh, those men tried to kill me? Probably not. Because then they would try to screw Lawrence and they would try to reveal the whole scheme. Although they maybe wouldn't, because if they did, then they would be screwing over Ramelia as well. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So, that's the episode. And I already have to note down one very important thing, because I think that the title of Price of Betrayal and Price of Gold really kind of tells me that Lawrence will experience a little bit of character growth here, especially when it comes to his perceived uselessness. Craft experiences character growth figures out he's not as useless as he thinks, has his own strengths. I really think that the price of betrayal here will actually have more to do with whatever shenanigans Kraft will figure out, rather than with a physical price of betrayal, like, say, Holo eating everybody at the Remelio HQ, right? I would rather expect that Kraft will figure out a smart way to save Nora and to fuck Remelio into the ground. I don't know what way will it be, but it's going to be something. I'm trying to think of any possible ways, though. One way would be to... First of all, he has to have it signed that he paid off his debt. I think. After that, any number of things can happen. I don't think Remelio would sign the waiver before he gets his hands on gold. So having the waiver signed and getting the gold is kind of out of the question. It wouldn't save Nora either. I wonder if it's maybe going to be something like... Shit, I don't know. The church doesn't care about Nora particularly much. So even if Kraft were to reveal a scheme to the church that Remelio Trading Company is trying to assassinate Nora because they stuffed her ship with gold, actually though... Bishop, I have it on good repute. I know it for sure that Remelio Trading Company fed Nora's ship with gold and is trying to smuggle it here. There's a chance it would screw Nora over because they might not believe that she was just a victim in the scheme. So probably not how they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna involve the church at all. But without involving the church, I really don't see any like political or societal ways of fucking Remilio over. Unless we kinda reverse the roles, where Kraft gets all the gold, sells it himself, pays off the debt, or doesn't, or allows Remilio to go under. That would not make the debt disappear there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna spend much more time trying to figure out how's it gonna go, because fucking no. Something's gonna happen. Nora is going to be saved. Lawrence is gonna to be saved. Hans Remilio is going to be fucked over, and the entirety of Remilio Trading Company is going to be bulldozed into the ground so that they can build offices. Probably something like that. But I just don't know why. I wonder. Maybe it's gonna have something to do with Remilio having a surprising amount of gold, for surprising amount of currency for a trading company who's on the verge of bankruptcy. Maybe they're already doing some shady business. I know. We'll see. Other than that, good episode. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed seeing Holo reveal a little bit of her wolven form again. That was really nice to see. That little growl, and then standing in front of this big bad wolf and, facing it off. That was nice. I like that Holo seems to be slowly but surely, maybe not growing to like Nora, but maybe even a little bit, right? Like, she spoke to her, and not in a particularly like snarky way, but rather in a very friendly way, right? Oh, what do you think of my husband, right? What's your opinion? Oh, how real you are, little Nora, dear. Oh, you're spot on here, little Nora, right? In that very, very, very friendly, sociable way. So that's cool. That's really cool to see as well. Yeah. What do I expect from the next episode? Well, it's episode 12, so it's fitting for that to finish this arc. Although it could very well be episode 13, because we have 25 episodes in this series, so one of the arcs could very easily be longer than those 12 or 6 or 3 episodes. Or they could just not follow those numbers at all. Not every show has to, of course. But in the next episode, I expect, first of all, Kraft to be rescued. Do I expect Holo's fight with the wolf? I'm not sure. I think that it would be nice to see her fight it out, but I don't think it's necessarily necessary. I think just having it happen completely off screen and just having Holo emerge victorious, that alone would already be a good way to portray it, right? Because it also introduces that tension where we don't even know how the fight is going. So we don't actually know what's going on with Holo whatsoever. We don't know if she's trying to talk it out. We don't know if she's winning. We don't know if she's losing. We know nothing. That introduces its own kind of tension, very different than if we were to be shown Holo losing, for example, and then a cut to credits. That would be a different kind of tension than not knowing the situation whatsoever. So I think that's what they're gonna do. They're not going to show us the fight precisely for that tension. They might not even show us how Kraft is doing, but rather the episode might start with Nora coming back to the city and perhaps getting ambushed and tied up. And then we see Kraft and Holo arrive to save her. And then we see a flashback to how Holo saved Kraft. I could see something like that happening, but in the next episode, I for sure expect, first of all, Kraft to be saved. That's a must. Do I expect Nora to be saved? I think I do. The title is Price of Betrayal, so I have a feeling that Nora has to be saved for that to happen, and the Remelio Trading Company has to go under for that to happen. I don't see like any other venues at like Revenge, Price of Betrayal here. So I would say early on we save Kraft, then we book it for the city, we save Nora, and then we fuck Remelio over. Those three things I expect to see in the next episode. We'll see, of course. Anything can happen there. Could very well be that Price of Betrayal is, I don't know, Church discovers the scheme or something like that without even Kraft and Holo getting involved. Doubtful, but you know, it's a possibility. Price of Gold, though, tells me that the gold is going to change hands. So either Remelio is going to sell it, and Kraft will come in wanting his wanting to, you know, get his share, or Kraft himself is going to sell the gold and it's gonna turn out, holy shit, that's so fucking expensive. I can build a you know, my own shop now. Finally. Maybe. I know. Either way, I of course expect a good ending here. So I think that much is obvious. But yeah, right now I guess that's gonna be it from me for today, but maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of it, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos. Not only Spice and Wolf, but also Sentai, Daishikkaku, Kaijuu number 8, Kaito, Otome, Unnamed Memory, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do stream sometimes. I streamed Alchemy Stars just yesterday, and if you want to support the channel, you can do that as well monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuuki, Yuuna, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube through memberships, super thanks, super chats, and if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Zerena, Yukiala, Ishtamu, Dr. Ward, Akomasar, Marshfassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to fight any wolves.